Rick Rennell, a member of our team, he tweeted this morning that Biden is afraid to hold a press conference with Putin, and Putin loves it. And this idea, again, no press conference even with Boris Johnson. So all we've had is this one single, carefully managed press conference.
I'm sorry, I'm going to get in trouble with staff if I don't do this the right way. Jennifer Jacobs, Bloomberg.
If he wants to take another question, or if he wants to address something else in his press conference, he has the right to do that as President of the United States, as the commander-in-chief, as what is supposed to be the leader of the free world. If you can't even get the G7 to come together and be tougher on China, and be tougher on Russia, they've all got their own interest, and this is what Rick is always warning about. Consensus leads to weakness.
Are you satisfied with what came out in the
Yes.
communique, or did you wish it were tougher? Do you wish there was more action on China?
I think there's plenty of action on China, and there's always something that you can, I'm sure my colleagues think there's things they think they could improve that they want it, but I'm satisfied.
This kind of document, the fact that it exists, that's not the surprising or the disappointing part. The disappointing part is that the United States is now saying, yep, that's enough. That satisfies us. Jordan, the role that we've got to play in the world in order to make strides has to be a stronger one than that.
Leadership is not finding the lowest common denominator. That's appeasement. It's appeasement which led to the disaster of the Second World War.
It's like a slap on the wrist for China, which the U.S. official position is they're engaged in a domestic genocide. And now the Biden administration, too, official position is that the lab leak theory is a legitimate theory and that there needs to be another investigation, but they want to send the World Health Organization back in. So they don't even mention the word genocide. That doesn't seem strong. That doesn't seem like they've united front. And, of course, saying that they want to put the World Health Organization back in for a round 2 investigation is basically just saying we want the same results.
The document doesn't even name the people that are being exterminated. They don't even go so far as to say it is the Uyghur people who the Chinese government is exterminating. If that is a strong enough document for the United States, I'll tell you this, Jordan, our designation of genocide at this moment under this administration, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
The headline from NBC News on China is that China tells the G7 leaders, quote, small groups don't rule the world.
The Chinese are laughing at this whole process that is going on in Europe right now, and for good reason, because we're coming across as weak and effete. We're not coming across as strong. And the United States now, instead of being in a position of leadership among this group of G7, is just one of the boys, one of the crowd.
I want to put up on the screen Time Magazine. Biden's about to meet with Putin. Look at him. He's got his aviators on. Putin's in his sights. All the wrinkles have been airbrushed. He looks like, like he's this really tough guy ready to take on a strong man. And you look at the picture of the right, and it's Putin and Trump's faces, molded together. The idea, again, how the media portrays this is going to be very important because you're hearing very little from Joe Biden. We already know that Joe Biden will not do a joint press conference with Vladimir Putin.
By not doing that kind of joint press conference, which the President of the United States has declined to do, you're sending a message that you are either frightened or incapable of doing it.
Rick tweeted that Vladimir Putin is loving this new posture. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, Jordan, in the interview that he gave over the weekend, he was asked twice if he's a killer, and he just kind of laughed it off. And it was very clear watching that interview, Jordan, that he loves the insinuation. He loves the insinuation that he can be asked this without getting significant pushback from the one entity in the world that should have the moral footing to push back against him. That's the United States of America. Right now, Jordan, he's just not worried about that.
It's no longer America first, and that is on display. And in fact, I even saw a CNN headline, Than, that said this is to undo the idea. What the Biden team is doing is to undo the idea of America first. It is every president's job, Than, to put America first. It's not to ignore the world or the world's problems, but it's to start off with the point of America first.